good, but he's pushing his luck in so many places.
Yeah, it might not come as a surprise, but he just set his fastest lap on the last lap, and he put, what's he put in? Only a couple of tenths into Rins.
Rins is hanging on, POL ESPARGARO is hanging on, Taka Nakagami's progress ahead of Andrea Dovizioso. Brad Binder now is ahead of Morbidelli as well. Brad Binder has brought the other KTM into play, up into 10th place. Remember, Binder had a long lap penalty as well, so he's recovering from that. Then it's Petrucci, Bradl is out there on the Repsol Honda. Maverick Vinales, 2-point scoring position in 14th, maybe on his way.
He's got it up to a half a second gap. Fastest lap of the race.
Look at that.
Take that, he said.
8 laps to go and a 31.955 now. Just throwing it up the road is not an option. JOAN MIR. Moto3, you and I commentated on him, and we said at the time that just looked so good on a Moto3 bike. He looked like a MotoGP rider on a Moto3 bike back in the day. The way he used the brakes, the way he positioned his JOAN MIR up into MotoGP. Now, if he can just make it these last 7 laps, a race winner at MotoGP, the biggest year they've had in 20 years, so long ago. Kenny Roberts Jr., son of Kenny Roberts, the King Kenny, God.
Then you've got to go even further back to look at the title that was before that. Kevin Schwantz, 1990.
To the Barry Sheen days of 76 and 77, when the first 4-cylinder 2-stroke Suzukis came online. Before that, they were 500cc twins that were almost a road bike, really. That a fella called John Newbold, if you remember him, sadly killed at the Northwest 200. John and was virtually unbeatable at the time. Suzuki have a great pedigree in Grand Prix racing, and they're a great factory to work for.
But they've never been dominant.
It's looking pretty good at the moment, though.
Exactly.
This bike, though, from the day we spotted it, when we all went out to Sepang for the test, if you remember, when BG Sport first...
Finish your story.
I stood there looking at it, it was beautiful.
You've got your fingers crossed.
Yep.
You actually have. Ladies and gentlemen, Keith has got his fingers crossed.
JOAN MIR, that's for sure, but the kid deserves it. I just want him to get this right. I do not want him to throw it up the road. And I'm sorry if anybody shouts about commentators' curse. We're only commentating on what we're seeing at the end of the day, so bad luck as far as that's concerned if you're listening and don't like it. But it's a situation where I have no axe to grind for any of these guys or any of these factories, but be glad, despite some of the things that are being said, that Yamaha didn't have their rider points taken away, because the last thing that anybody wants at the end of a year is a situation where super end of season.
Yeah, absolutely.
Now, I know it's not right from a rule perspective, maybe, and a lot of people shouting and screaming that, yeah, but they got let off Yamaha. But it doesn't matter. The fact of the matter is we are where we are. The show does count. And the fact of it is that Suzuki really want to win this with everybody in it to win it. Get the title in 2020. It's almost impossible now for Andrea Dovizioso to achieve that dream before possible retirement, a test ride or Aprilia, whichever one of those 3 it might be. What an awful choice he has got. Excuse me.
Dobby. Yeah, that sort of appeared this weekend, hasn't it? That rumour.
JOAN MIR has done a brilliant job, but POL ESPARGARO now closes in. He might have a bit more left in hand for late race, and you know if he's close to Rins, he's going to make that pass. Davide Brivio knows it. I don't know why his beats per minute have gone down another 10. So he must be fairly happy.
It's even stranger, in 10th place, Brad Binder has just set the fastest lap of the race, quite randomly.
He's brilliant round here, though, isn't he? He is exceptionally good round here.
Frankie Morbidelli's now dropped all the way down to 12th place. He's only 2 places in front of Vinales.
I think we can safely say the Yamaha's rears don't work. Yeah. Or Yamaha.
The Yamaha's clearly not working out here today.
Yeah. Maybe they've wound him down now a little bit as well for
the remaining 2 races.
It's almost, I mean, it's, well, Quartararo is going to score a point here. You wonder whether it was worth sacrificing a race distance for that 1 point. That's what happened, yeah, exactly that. Dobby took his braking position, and that
left him nowhere to call that perfect, Keith. That was not a nice move, really, from Dovizioso.
It really wasn't. Because it will have upset the aero of the bike, it would have made him, it would have destabilised the bike into turn 1, and he had to tried to change position and squeeze the front. He's had to squeeze that harder than he would have naturally wanted to do, and that was really Dobby's fault. Dobby took his braking point from him. Dobby came across his nose and didn't really leave him enough on the outside to go for, so he was forced to the inside. As you say, over towards the damp stuff. So Alex Marquez slides unceremoniously, win his first ever Grand Prix in MotoGP. His teammate Alex Rins, a 1-2 for Suzuki, looking good at the moment. POL ESPARGARO cannot get close enough to Rins. But, like I say, with 3 laps to go, maybe POL has got a little bit more out of the KTM. I always smile at the text, aren't they?
That is, Cap's just said it's like Lorenzo.
Yeah.
Look at those lap times. What is it? It's 0.3 of a second, really, variation.
2.5 laps to go. Rins has settled for second place, but Mike Leitner knows that the KTM, with POL ESPARGARO on it, might be capable. And all the time that this has been going on, Taka Nakagami, keep an eye on him. He's run out of laps, I think, but he's closing in. What sort of times is Nakagami? This is what the factory have produced these motorcycles for. This is what the factory chose the riders for. 1 and 2, and to lead the World Championship. 1 and 2. Nakagami. Can he do it by the end? 2 laps to go then. Over the tyre debris goes JOAN MIR. Penultimate lap time then. Thumbs up from the crew. They've got it done. As long as Mir can hang on to this for another
2 laps, and he's got, with 1.4 seconds, he can knock it off a couple of tenths. Just
take turn 4 he's coming into now. Here's Dobby. Dobby's done Zarco. Dobby wants to be the best Ducati, doesn't he? Sure that isn't what it matters that much, but
Zarco half left through, rather.
Still got still got Jack Miller up ahead though on the Ducati department. JOAN MIR, lap and a half. Look at that lead he's got now. Nakagami's still coming, but he's not close enough, is he, to close this down? Surely in a lap.
Not unless the Paul has a go at dive bombing.
He's never been close enough to Rins to actually get that. Too far back.
As our very good friend Julian Ryder always explains about this track, like 0.2 of a second gap is like half a second to a second at a normal track. It's just a bizarre.
Alex Rins
and Frankie Carcetti, who's JOAN MIR's crew chief, looks ill. He was sat down there in the box. I'm looking forward to speaking to him after this race just to get some inside information.
Sweet and sour for him, of course. Jake Dixon, who he manages, has been out of the Moto2 race after a FP2 crash. But this
race, the last race he won was, believe it or not, in Malaysia when he was battling for the Moto3 World Championship,
which he won, of course.
Yes,
nearly there.
He's backed it off. He's now under a second. You can imagine what's going through his mind right now, Keith.
But he's got plenty of time as he comes towards the end of the lap. Rins is going to get a sniff, I suppose, at the end, but I don't think Mir's going to allow him that tight in. That's one danger area he's got over and done with. The 23-year-old from Parma, surely in his 26, JOAN MIR wins the European Grand Prix from his teammate on another Suzuki, Alex Rins. And then in third place, POL ESPARGARO on the KTM. Brett Binder comes over the line in 7th place in front of Andrea Dovizioso and Johan Zarco. But you've got to say, today,
and that is, talk about one hand on this World Championship, Keith. What's that? Was it 37 points leading the championship?
There it is, right up there. There's Quartararo over the line. He's the man then that scored, well, 2 points in the end. Savadori was in the pits, so 2 points. Look at Quartararo. That was a disaster mistake for the number 20. And Frankie Carcetti, the man you're talking about there, is relieved, as he might be.
I bet Sylvain Guintoli, their test rider, is very happy now. Put a lot of work in behind the scenes, played a huge part in getting this motorcycle competitive.
Hervé Poncharal there gives Mike Leitner. Hervé Poncharal on the left-hand side, Mike Leitner on the right, of course. KTM Frenchman meets Austrian on his new 6th engine. That's why he started from pit lane.
They really need to look at the system of releasing riders from pit lane. I know what the rules are, that it was
a CC category back in the day. Gets hold of Davide Brivio. We'll be speaking, I'm sure, with Suzuki later on. Susie will be jumping up and down upstairs here. I can hear her feet from the BT tower up on the 34th floor. I look out the window here over London at the moment. Like the air ambulance.
12, isn't it? Yeah, around 12.
Yeah.
No, 9 different winners out of 12 races, and that's the 5th first-time winner in MotoGP.
And I think we're done.
No, well, Nakagami's got one coming, you'd think, at some point. Pol has got one coming at some point, you would think.
Only 2 rounds.
Jack's not had one this year, so yeah.
The phrase, and it's not exaggerating it. With 50 points left on the table, 37-point lead.
And he's not the sort of rider to crank.
How many times have we talked about that? His focus, his demeanour, his way about going about his business. When you look at him on the deck chair at the back of the carriage, you think, unlike